Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Laura Yamada.
And I'm Paula Akana. Lawmakers were warned today that even though the economy is improving, it's not improving enough to generate all the tax money they need. So they may be looking for ways to raise taxes. KITV4's Daryl Huff joins us now with a look at one of the likely targets. Daryl.
Paula, 2 years ago, Hawaii lawmakers raised the hotel tax. Last year, they raised taxes on families with higher incomes. This year, the next in line will be taxes on businesses. And one of the biggest is construction. Sustained by hundreds of millions in state and federal contracts, Hawaii construction companies hope the tide is turning, but potential profitability makes the industry a target for a potential tax increase.
We're going to try to pass it on to the consumer or to the owners, but in this economy, it's very, very hard for us to pass it on and be competitive.
Most construction projects involve general contractors who hire subcontractors. Right now, a general contractor on $1 million job who subcontracts half the work pays half the excise tax, about $20,000. The subcontractors pay the other half, generating a 4% tax. Removing the exemption would mean the general contractor would pay a full 4%, $40,000 on the job, while the subcontractor paid 4% on his portion, in all generating 6% taxes, a 50% increase.
We're going to pay on the total job, and then also our subs are going to pay it too. So it's kind of like double taxation on the same job.
That's one area that we know could generate a lot of revenue with some impact spread out amongst the different providers of services.
Legislative leaders and the governor have generally agreed that budget cuts alone won't balance the budget. The governor's only promise was not to raise the excise tax rate.
The GET rate is a given. We're going to not touch that at all, but everything else we'll be taking a fresh look at it.
The House Finance Committee has estimated that more than $100 million a year could be generated by repealing that subcontractor exemption we described, but a partial repeal along with repeals of exemptions in other industries is the most likely scenario, Paula.
Interesting, but Daryl, any chance that there'll be no taxes increased?
Possibly, but that would actually take major concessions by the public workers, perhaps staying on furloughs or taking a pay cut, and nobody's willing to protect that yet.
All right, wait and see. Thanks, Daryl.